Hi guys, it's Jessica. Today I'm going to do a spoiler-free review of the movie Dune, and I'm going to try and keep it down to 5 minutes or less. I got this idea for a shorter review from the writer's block. I figured since I wanted to do something spoiler-free, it would actually be better to keep it down, and that would reduce my likelihood of going into spoiler territory. If you're looking for something more in-depth, I do have a 2-part review on Dune the book, and you can find that on my channel here. If you don't want to watch those older videos, just know the TLDR is that I don't like the book Dune, but I still think the movie could be really excellent and was really looking forward to seeing it. Okay, so let's go ahead and start the 5-minute timer right now. And the basic thing I think you need to know about Dune is if you have read the book or engaged with the movies or mini-series, this movie is for you. If you go into Dune and you haven't read the book or seen the 1980 movie or the sci-fi mini-series, I think you're going to be pretty lost and bored. I think as someone who likes to know a lot and likes to have a deep dive in things, if I hadn't read the book, I'd have been frustrated by this movie. And I know that my husband, who has no contact with any other Dune material, did not like this movie. He said, and I quote, "It's a movie about nothing that's going nowhere." Obviously, not everyone who has no contact with Dune is going to feel the same way that my husband did, but I do think that he is a great barometer of a general audience member going in with no Dune experience. And there's not much that the director could have done with this if he was going to honor the spirit of Dune, because there is a lot of politicking, there's a lot of internal thoughts, there's a lot of monologues and conversations. I think he did the best he could to give you this huge jump in the world building to immerse you immediately and then just hit the ground running, trying to race you into the part that's action. That being said, there were some scenes I was really looking forward to seeing on the screen that I didn't get, believe it or not, even though I said the book was very slow paced. I felt like we could have slowed down a little bit here, seen some more things, and established certain characters and certain key themes and elements just a little bit better. Dune is not a book that has a lot of plot movement. It's got a lot of themes being explored. It's got some characterization being explored. It has huge, expansive world building, which I think makes it really hard to turn this into a movie. I also think this material would have been better served as a TV miniseries versus a whole movie. And as far as a book viewer goes, I felt like the director did a good job balancing elements. So I thought most of the themes and concepts and core elements that make Dune made it into this movie. There were some things that he characterized in a way that I didn't 100% agree with. There were some things I don't think he hammered home hard enough. But on the flip side, there were also things that he did, like how he represented the lack of water in Dune and contrasted it with Paul's home planet. I thought he did that really well, and that visually he said a lot that took pages and pages and pages to write down and explain. If you don't know anything about Dune, what you know is that there's spice and there's sandworms, and you're really looking forward to seeing them. Obviously, in the first third of Dune, there's not a lot of sandworms, so you're going to be waiting for something you're not going to get by the end of the movie. The other thing the director had to struggle with Dune is he had to take a lot of scenes and just pick a couple key ones. And when he did this, he brought this from an ensemble cast piece down really to just a Paul and Jessica story so far. I know the other characters will have bigger parts later in the series if he's allowed to continue making these movies, but this first piece is just Paul and Jessica, and I think they only do okay. I really think we needed a few more of those conversations with other characters to happen. I don't actually think that Paul's character is done very well. Jessica's is sort of okay. It's a little bit better than Paul's. Their responses and reactions felt a little bit off. They didn't feel 100% genuine, or like the direction for where they should take this emotionally was there. One of the things about doing a story that's so much about conversation, that has so much setup and world building going on, is it really relies very heavily on the actors being in the moment and portraying those emotions, conveying how important concepts are. And I just don't think they pulled it off. As far as the world building goes, in a movie, world building is very different than it is on page, and I think the world building here is amazing. I loved all of the scenes. Visually, this movie is amazing. And for someone who's read the book and just wants to see Dune come to life, this part alone is going to make the experience very satisfying. Not just how they were filmed or what they look like or the costuming. It all just comes together and feels very immersive. It feels real. It feels like a fully realized vision that was sort of a joy to see. And I personally almost appreciated how little was happening just so I could sit back and watch this. Again, though, if I hadn't read Dune, I don't know if I'd feel that way. The music, too, it goes really well. It's excellent music. If I had one quibble, I thought the music was a little too loud and the dialogue was a little too soft. But I still really enjoyed the music. I still felt it complemented all the scenes and helped with immersion. Stop the clock here. How did I do? Did I do it in 5 minutes or less? I really hope so. I've been working so hard on brevity. If you're looking for more dystopian science fiction kind of stories, you can check out my dystopian playlist here. And if you're looking for science fiction specifically, you can check out a playlist here. I've been watching a lot of space movies and space TV shows this past year, and I think a lot of them were inspired or were intended to go as companion pieces to Dune, but the delayed release meant that these movies came out before Dune. And I just think it's interesting watching them all as a collection because it sort of shows a bunch of different themes and elements that we are exploring right now in sort of like the future is worse than the past science fiction style narrative. I am really engaged in seeing where storytelling is going with science fiction and seeing what grabs the public's attention. So let me know if you've seen any of those movies down below, if you have any other recent science fiction movies or shows you'd recommend based off of Dune and the Foundation. Let me know if you're going to watch Dune, if you've already watched Dune, tell me what you think about it. I would love to have some more conversations about Dune and where this is taking us storytelling wise. Thanks for watching. Bye!